Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing today? Welcome back to another episode reaction to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is our live, my name is Matt. Hello, I'm super excited today, not because of Buffy, I don't give a shit about Buffy, that's a joke by the way, stop yelling. I'm excited because this arrived today in the mail. And this has nothing to do with this video. I'm just excited because I ordered this and it arrived today and I'm just like super hyped to build this. This is a Master Grade Freedom 2.0 Gunpla. I already have one in there in the background. It's a Curious. And this is my second Gunpla ever. So I'm super excited to build it at some point in the future. Like if everything goes well, then that should be built by the time next video comes out. So next week, Freedom should be at the back there. But yeah, anyway, Buffy, right? We're watching Buffy today. We're watching the final episode of season 1 today, aren't we? So, okay, what happened last episode? We had the... man, like, that episode was very interesting previous week, because we just learned that Cordelia was secretly the best character in the show, which, like, what? But sure, whatever. I liked it. I like it a lot. And I'm thinking about it now, and I feel like there was more stuff that I wanted to say about that episode when I was editing it, but by now I forgot about it because it's been like a week. So yeah, I have no idea what the fuck I wanted to say about that episode that I hadn't already said before. The only thing I suppose I can say is that like the discussion for previous week was like, it was getting a little bit like too deep and I'm sorry if it made anyone uncomfortable. Like, I don't know, maybe some people wanted me to be deep, or maybe some people just wanted me to talk shit. I'm sorry, I just went a little bit deep for this episode. But yeah, I just wanted to do that, and I'm probably gonna do that if I ever come across something I feel like I want to talk about. My bangs keep shifting sides, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what to do with that. But yeah, it was an episode heavily about fitting in, acceptance, you know, just having people that see you, like literally see you, because oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to say that I feel like I didn't stay on that point at all previous week, but I should have, is the idea that like people just turn invisible if they are unseen enough by their peers. Because like there was a moment where Giles was like, oh yeah, fucking I'm stupid, I was focusing on the, what the fuck was the words I used? It was like, I was focusing on like the magical or mythical aspect when I should be focusing on the metaphysical. And I'm like, what? Like, okay, are you saying what I think you're saying? And he was like, yes, in fact, I am saying that if your perception is something so hard, it would actually alter reality in order to manipulate it to that. Okay, that's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard, and I just watched an episode of Cowboy Bebop where people turn into monkeys. Incredible. I love that. I love that so much. The fact that like reality is whatever you perceive it to be, like actually literally reality alters by your perception of it. Okay, I love that actually. That is a concept that I actually genuinely love, because I'm one of those people. I'm one of those like almost insane people that I actually love everything about stuff like the placebo effect, because literally your perception alters reality is one of it's one of the shits that I love so much. The human brain is weird and fucked up, ain't it? It is. It actually is. And what it is capable of doing is impressive. In this case, it's ridiculous because it is physically altering the fabric of reality. But I still love that because it's so silly. Anyway, and we learned that Cordelia is great. Almost like okay, not great. I can imagine people watching that and being like, okay, she's still like a terrible person, but like I see that and I'm just like, okay, this is a very good opportunity. This is an opportunity in order to make a character like fantastic. So I'm looking forward to see where Cordelia is gonna go maybe. But okay, I think we may begin with this next episode. But if you would like to watch season 2 already, season 2 is already available over at the Patreon. The first 2 episodes of season 2 specifically are going to be up at the Patreon by the time this comes out. So if you want to go check those episodes out, go check out the Patreon. Look in the description below or the pop-up on screen. You can watch early access episodes. You can watch full-length episode reactions. You can watch all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, just drop by, man. It's going to be tons of fun. Without further ado, let us begin. So, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, season 1, episode 12, finale. Let's go.
But you.
He's not talking to Buffy, he's practicing. And she's just like imagining.
See, what I should do is I should just start with talking about the dance.
Okay. That's a little bit sad for her.
Someone's out there.
That's silly. Who would be out there?
Literally anyone? People can just walk around. Done. GG.
The Master shall rise, and the Slayer
Shall die.
my God.
Earthquake? Oh god. I never lived through an earthquake. I don't live in a region where earthquakes even happen, so. Oh, please tell me the Earth's gonna open up. And demons are just gonna. What the fuck? I think the Earth is literally gonna open up.
This is a sign. We are in the final day.
Oh, I love this guy.
Oh, glory, glory.
Glory! Yeah!
5.1.
Oh my god. They're having fun with them. They're absolutely having fun with these characters. I love the Master. Such a fun villain. It really is like a Power Rangers villain, isn't he?
Buffy.
What? Do I have something on my face?
No. And
Did
yes.
he think that she was dead or something?
The least you could do is exhibit some casual interest. You could go,
Sorry. So I'm very glad that you're all right.
fine. That's okay. I can't put it off any longer. I have to meet my terrible fate.
What?
Biology.
Okay. He can't stop thinking about what he read. What did he read? I want to know the specific wording.
Boring falls short.
Even I was bored, and I'm a science nerd.
Biology sucks, by the way. It was absolutely my worst subject.
Hey, leave.
That's rude.
Buffy, I want you to go to the dance with me. You and me on a date.
She might say yes. Let's see.
I don't know what to say.
Buffy, I like you. A lot.
Okay, confession
And
is
I know we're
happening.
friends, but I want more.
Xander, you're one of my best friends. I don't want to spoil the friendship that we have.
Well, I don't want to spoil it either. But that's not the point, is it? You either feel a thing or you don't.
She doesn't.
I don't. Xander, I'm sorry. I just don't think of you that way.
We'll try. I'll wait.
Don't push it.
No. Forget it. I'm not him. I mean, I guess the guy's got to be undead to make time with you.
That's really harsh.
It is.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't handle rejection well.
I can tell. Interesting real drama. That was very real. I like that scene. I like that scene because it went exactly as it should. Yo, the Technopagan's back!
And Mercy Hospital last night, a boy was born with his eyes facing inward.
Ugh, that sounds awful.
This is apocalypse stuff.
Also, yes.
Willow, I really like your outfit.
No, you don't.
What do you need?
No, I really don't, but I need a favor.
On a scale of 1 to 10, it sucked.
I mean, could have been absolutely worse. Like, she doesn't hate you or
I know
anything,
what we'll
dude.
do.
She just doesn't feel that
We
way.
can go. Be my date. We'll have a great time. We'll dance. We'll go wild. What do you say?
No.
Good.
No.
What? Willow, come on.
You think I want to go to the dance with you and watch you wish you were at the dance with her? You think that's my idea of hijinks? You should know better.
I didn't think. Just gonna go home, lie down, and listen to country music.
You could have
Music of pain.
picked something better, man. Fucking, I don't know. King Crimson would have been better. Like, okay, I was about to say.
This is the Codex. There is nothing in it that does not come to pass.
Then you're reading it wrong.
I wish to God I were. But it's very plain. Tomorrow night, Buffy will face the Master, and she will die.
All right. Okay.
So that's it, huh? One Slayer dies, next one's called. Will you train her?
Buffy,
To say how he's gonna kill me? It'll hurt. Don't touch me! You even gonna tell me?
I was thinking that.
I was hoping that I wouldn't have to, that there was some way around it.
I quit.
It's not that simple.
I'm making it that simple. You can find someone else to stop the Master from taking over.
I'm not sure that anyone else can. All the signs indicate...
Signs? Read me the signs!
Who gives a shit
Tell me
about
my
your
fortune!
stupid books? Yeah.
You're so useful sitting here with all of your books! You're really a lot of help! I quit, remember? Pay attention.
I don't know if it works like
The
that.
master rises.
I don't care!
Maybe it does work like that. Okay.
I don't care. Giles, I'm 16 years old.
Yes.
I don't want to die.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. What's really interesting about that scene that just played is that I know there's more show after this, but like it doesn't matter because like what's really important about what we're seeing is the emotions the characters are displaying, right? It's how they feel, what they're thinking. That's really good.
Probably isn't the best time for this, but he totally flaked on me, and I don't even care. God help me, I think it's cute. Oh.
Okay. She has a crush on this dude.
They're watching cartoons.
I feel like he's gonna die. Yeah, they're already dead. Like the moment that she was like, oh, I think I have a crush on him, and I'm like, I've never seen this man in my life. He's dead. He's a victim this episode. Did we not see the fucking handprint of blood on the TV before? I don't know what that transition scene was, but sure.
I'm not okay. I knew those guys. I go to that room every day.
He was... okay.
And when I walked in there, it wasn't our world anymore.
Yeah, okay.
They made it
understand.
theirs.
Does she feel
Buffy,
a responsibility now?
I like your dress.
Aww. I really like this episode so far. It's funny because like every scene where he's not in is like really serious this episode. Like it's really dramatic and I'm like sitting here just like yes. But when he's on screen I'm like let's go. He's funny.
I don't intend involving her at all.
He's gonna go in.
What do you mean?
He's doing it
Buffy's not going to
himself.
face the master. I am.
No, you're not.
Buffy, I'm not going to send you out there to die. You were right. I've waited about in these old books for so long, I've forgotten what the real world is like. It's time I found out.
You're still not going up against the Master.
I've made up my mind.
So have I. I'm the Slayer.
I don't care what the books say. I defy prophecy, and I'm going. There's nothing you can say will change my mind.
I know.
But I'm going to. So. Oh! There we go. Overpowering you physically. That does work.
Help me?
Shoot that kid in the face! Kill him! Kill him good!
It's okay. I know who you are.
Deck this kid in the face! I mean, I know he's not the main antagonist, but like, honestly, just fucking beat the shit out of this kid. Sorry, it's just funny to imagine that.
I'm sorry to bring this up, but we also have an apocalypse to worry about.
Do you mind?
A little
How
bit.
come she's in the club?
Hey!
She's a techno-pagan. Shut the fuck up.
Rumor has it. Only we're not gonna let it happen. Oh, what do you propose we do about it?
We go and do something about it. Take me.
I don't like you. I pretty much think you're a vampire. But Buffy's got this big old yen for you. She thinks you're a real person. And right now I need you to prove her right. You're in love with her.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Awkward love triangle. I fucking love that she's just carrying a crossbow. Also, kill that kid. It would be really funny if the kid like actually did nothing. Like we had this whole prophecy of the anointed or whatever, but like at the end of the day, the kid actually does nothing.
Welcome.
Welcome! The banter portion of the fight. Why don't we just cut to the...
Yeah. Oh! I'm thinking about the prophecy being like she'll die. Maybe she will die, but then she'll be resurrected. Through some bullshit means. Through some anime means. This is a very anime thing. Waiting for something to break the tension. There we go.
I understand.
You should always be ready for melee. Okay, that's bad. Oh! Telekinesis! Luckily, it's a power that we don't really need any special effects for.
You're the one that sets me free.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
If you hadn't come, I couldn't go.
That's how causality works.
The power!
By
She's-
the way,
She's gonna die, and that's what's gonna bring her back to life. Wow, come on, man. May she be a vampire slayer. That would be fucking fun. I'm always thinking about that whenever it comes down to prophecies. I'm just like, you have to worry about the specifics. In this case, it wasn't even a specific. It was just like, yeah, you caused it. I watched Netflix Dark.
She's dead.
Okay, she'll come back. So the prophecy was right. She's gonna be brought back by the power of anime.
Get in!
Cordelia! Best character in the show. There we go. We're good.
Buffy.
We're Gucci. Alright, world is saved. The one part that you have to worry about was the prophecy being like she dies. But she just died and resurrected. Therefore, we're Gucci.
Gotta get to the library! Library, great.
Why the library? Like, I understand that Giles is there, but like, why the library? I suppose Giles has like an armory in the library, so. Oh, that's great. Yes! Yes! That's so funny. God, I was hoping they would drive all the way into the library. That would be so funny. What's that? The fuck is that? That's a very silly looking practical effects tentacle. I am free.
No, I feel strong. I feel different. Let's go.
Did you vampire up? Oh god. Oh my god, theme song! Buffy is an anime! Like, what the fuck?
No.
Of course they play the intro in the final episode, right before the climax. What the fuck is that thing? And why is it there? Is that a fucking Hydra? What is that? That looks like Shao Kahn's animality in 1997's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is a fantastic movie.
You're dead.
I'm returned
I
from
may be
hell.
dead, but I'm still pretty.
You were destined to die. It was written.
She did die, but she came back. Like, what the fuck am I looking at?
You have fruit punch mouth.
What?
Man, that dress is gonna get ruined tonight.
Where are your jibes now?
Kick him in the dick.
Will you laugh when my hell?
That works as a stake.
Go there.
That's a stake. Is that it? That is a cool effect though. I do like that. I want to see more of that. It looked like really dated CG, but I liked the way it looked. Disintegrating into a skeleton. Anyway, that's it. Master defeated. The end of the show. Let's go. GG, boys. Good ending.
It's just been a really weird day.
Yeah, Buffy died and everything.
Should have known that wouldn't stop you.
Mm.
Don't like the library very much anymore.
Hey, I hear there's a dance at the Bronze tonight. Could be fun.
Yeah,
Buffy?
sure.
Sure. Why not?
We save the world. I say we party.
Fuck it. Why not? Hard cut to everyone just partying.
Loser.
Cordelia's just hanging
By the
out.
way, I really like it.
Yeah. Big hit with everyone.
Is that it? We're good? Alright, we're good. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was coming to record this episode, part of me was worried that it was gonna be like a meh episode. Part of me was worried that it would be a bad one. Because I'm looking at the episodes so far, and most of the good ones have been like not serious episodes. So when I was coming into this final episode, I was thinking, well, it's the finale. There's gonna be something important happening, and I was thinking, well, it's gonna be serious, and if it's gonna be serious, then it might not be as good. Because I feel like the show, I mean, it has had its serious moments, but I think some of the strongest episodes in the show so far for this season have been the not serious moments. Particularly, I'm thinking about like episode 5. I'm thinking about the first 2 episodes, which I like maybe on a rewatch I would feel better about them. But even the first 2 episodes, I feel like they're very straightforward and not a lot happens in them. But this episode felt pretty great, and like I said it at one point when I was watching it, but like what was great about it, I mean, it wasn't the ending fight actually. Like the entire fight with the Master fight, the apocalypse and the Hellmother's opening and the Master rises and everything, all about that was kind of not as great as the like first half. Like the first half of the episode was pretty great, and the reason for that is because it was heavily about the main cast's emotions and the reactions, and that carries so much, because what's happening is that Giles reads this prophecy in this book, and it's a book that is always correct, so they go like, oh my god, the prophecy, and the prophecy is like the master shall rise and Buffy will die, and I'm just sitting here like, well, we have like 6 more seasons of this show, and the show is called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so unless it's like a lineage and every vampire slayer is also called Buffy, like a JoJo situation, which I would be totally down for, by the way. But unless it's something like that, then she has to live. So I'm here thinking like, well, if she says she dies and the book is always right, then I'm thinking, well, maybe she'll die and then she'll come back to life. Like some anime bullshit. I was right. 1 point towards anime. The intro song started playing when she came back and started beating vampires. That's 2 points towards anime. Like, it's funny because, like, I have called the show very anime, like, a couple times. Not often, just a couple times. Just on the first episode, right? Like, but people have been, like, in the comments, they were like, yeah, some people call this an anime and I don't see it. And then some other people commented on some of my videos being like, you know, I'm realizing this show is a little bit anime sometimes. And I'm just sitting here like, yeah, a little bit, honestly, not gonna lie. But, whatever. The point is, what I was saying before I got tangented. The first half of the episode really carried itself because of character reactions and character emotions, and that's something really strong. Because even if I realistically know that she's not gonna die, it doesn't matter, because the scene where, so you get to see how distressed Giles is, and Giles is like happy to see her, and then he gets like really distraught, and Buffy's like, oh, I want to talk to him about something. I'm talking to him about slime vampires or whatever, and it's like, I want him to tell me I did a good job or something and just acknowledge what I'm saying, and he's clearly not listening because he's really focused trying to think about like, how do we get around this, like, how do I save Buffy's life? Like, that's what he's thinking about, but he doesn't want to tell her that. He doesn't want to tell her you're gonna die, because like that just suck. Like, you don't want to tell her that. You want to save her life if you can, but like, what else do you do? And then of course there's a scene where him and Angel are just trying to figure out how do we do this, and Buffy just walks in and she overhears like, she's gonna die, she's gonna face the master and gonna die tomorrow, and she's like, fuck, like what do we do? And like, Buffy just straight up says like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be a Slayer anymore. Just fucking throws her like pendant color thing that it's a cross, just fucking throws it away, and it's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go, I'm leaving. And like, they do offer a little bit of like pushback of like, you're the Slayer, you can't do that, the master will end the world. And she's like, Giles, I'm 16, I don't want to die. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, like that scene works and it makes sense and it's pretty great entirely, because you can tell that they care. You can tell that they care, but they're also worried about what is gonna happen. But Buffy is literally just like, I'm gonna die in like 20 hours. Like okay, fuck. Like, what do I do? How do I react? What do I feel? Like, and big shout outs to Buffy's actress. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. I can probably see it in the intro. I don't want to risk seeing the spiders in the intro, so I'm not going to skim through the intro, but shout outs to her. She's pretty great, and I think that scene was fantastic, seeing her. And there was a moment where she even like lashed out against Giles, just being like, what do you care? Like, you're always just sitting here with your fucking books. I don't exactly remember how the scene went. I mean, I don't remember the lines, but I remember the general gist of it. And like, when Giles started talking about like the prophecy or whatever, and Buffy's like, I don't fucking care, just trying to fucking throwing books at him. It's like, I don't care about the prophecy. I don't care about your fortunes or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I don't care about that. And perfect. Like, of course you would react like that. That's very real. And if anything, this episode had the most like real interactions that I've seen in this show so far. Like, I'm used to the show being campy. I'm used to the show being cheesy. I'm used to the show just being like, that's not how people talk. This episode really felt like a bunch of scenes were very real. That was one of them. Another scene that I really like is when Xander confessed to Buffy, because like, while I don't give a shit about that relationship, I do like seeing the way the characters reacted to it. Xander confesses to Buffy, confesses. English is not my first language. Buffy is like, I'm sorry, I don't see you that way. And I like the way, I like something Xander said, which is weird for me to say, but he said something like, it's not a matter of like you're not trying to ruin something or whatever. It's a yes or no question. It's a binary. Like, you either feel this way or you don't. Like, do you feel this way? And Buffy's like, no, I don't. And then Xander I started acting like a shit, but it's because he can't handle rejection well, which it makes sense. He's also 16, like whatever. Like, I don't like it, but at the same time, it's not unrealistic. In fact, it's very realistic. So he doesn't really handle it well, sure. But then there's another scene when Willow comes in and she's worried about him. She's concerned and she's like, how did it go? And Xander is like, it went terrible. It sucked. It was terrible. And I'm just sitting here like, it wasn't. Like, I mean, I'm sure that you feel that way, but it really wasn't. Like, she doesn't have anything against you. Like, she doesn't hate you or anything. She likes you, but she doesn't like you in the way you want her to like you. And that's like, reciprocation is not there, but she still cares about you, you know? And that's still something that it's like, okay. But in some ways, maybe it hurts more, but you're 16. I'm gonna pin it down to you're 16, and that's why you feel the way you feel. But what followed is that Xander just told Willow, like, well, let's go us together at the prom, you know? Like, let's both of us, let's go. We'll hang out like we always do. And Willow had this moment where she's like, no. And Xander's like, why? And she's like, no, because like, I don't see like being stuck with you, like moping about Buffy and just looking at Buffy the entire night as like something that I would like doing. And given Xander doesn't know that Willow has a crush on him, right? He doesn't. But at the same time, Willow is like, you should know better. And it's like, yes, you should. Like, Xander is being very self-centered, which is, it's not like a super negative trait. I mean, it would be considered a negative trait in real life, but as for what it is in the show right now, it makes sense. So he's thinking about like, oh, my feelings and how I feel and how I handle this rejection. Meanwhile, he's not really thinking about Buffy, because like, if he really respected Buffy, he wouldn't push for the relationship, which he did a little bit, and then he moved on. Well, he didn't, but he just walked away, which is okay. That's in his own way. He's trying to like give Buffy space, but in a way it's also, I feel like, kind of running away from it. But the mature thing to do, and if you respect the other person, is to be like, okay, understandable. I hope you have a nice life, and I hope you do get with that Angel dude. But even then, later in the episode, he's angry at Angel, like he hates him and shit, and it's just like, come on, dude. Like, if you care about Buffy, you would want to respect the things that Buffy wants you to respect, right? So that's the thing, that he still hasn't got there yet, but again, he's a kid. And he's also not thinking about Willow and the way Willow would feel. He's just thinking about like, well, Willow is always there for me, so I'm just gonna say fuck it. Like, I'm gonna go with Willow, whatever. Willow is always there. And then Willow is like, no, and he's like, wait, shit. Willow said no? Oh God, like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I thought she would always be there. And it's just like, she's not there because she also feels like shit over this. Given he doesn't understand that she has a crush on him, but still, like, all of this like teenage drama, it's like very campy and cheesy at times, and sometimes it's just funny. But in this case, it felt very like real, and that's something I appreciated, right? I appreciate it a lot. Another scene that I actually felt like a little bit real was the scene where, okay, so in the school, and I'm not sure what room it was. It was like, I don't know. I don't know how American school works, but there's a room when there's a TV, and there were a bunch of students and shit, and they were just watching it, and they're like, okay, let's go talk to them. And then you open the door and they're all dead. And I was thinking like, he's gonna be dead, right? Like I feel like I can look at a character sometimes in the show and I'm like, yeah, that dude's dead. Like, that person's gonna die. That person's gonna be a victim. Like, I started making a game where every time the show cuts to a scene when there's another character, I'm just like, okay, are you gonna be the victim, or are you gonna witness the victim? Like, those are the two options. In this episode, that didn't happen, but they did introduce some dude that Cordelia was with for like 2 scenes, and then Cordelia was talking about like, oh, I love him, and I'm just sitting here like, that dude's dead. That dude's 100% dead. Like, that dude didn't matter. He looked generic as fuck. Like, it was just another white dude. He didn't say anything that mattered, and Cordelia's just like, oh, he's perfect, and I'm just sitting here like, that he's a victim. He's gonna be a victim. He was immediately. But what Willow was saying is the fact that, like, Willow was saying like this was different, and I'm just sitting here like, why was it different? Like you've seen so many fucked up things in the show so far, including a dude that was decapitated, right? Your teacher got decapitated. Because like, even you can't even say like it was the school, because so many people died in this fucking school already. But what she's saying is, I been to that place so many times, and I'm thinking like, maybe that room was actually her like classroom, like the place where she always is in. Maybe like, I don't know exactly what it was, but in this, what they're trying to push is the idea that that was a place that felt very familiar to her. And when she came in there and she saw pure carnage, and I feel like maybe the implication was that the vampires themselves, or the demons or whoever it was, that they sat down and watched cartoons like surrounded by the bodies and shit. Like, I'm thinking that maybe that was the implication. Maybe. Because she did say, like, it felt like they played and had fun. Something like that. But the reason why I like that scene is because Willow is pushing this idea of, like, I don't feel safe anymore. And it feels like something that I took for granted, or something that I felt was good, was now tainted, right? And that's like a very real thing. You know, you hear people in real life saying like they felt like a place where they felt like sacred or felt safe, and because they got robbed or they got attacked in that place, then they no longer feel like they feel safe in that place, you know? And I can kind of understand and empathize with that, because yeah, life story time, whatever, why not? When I was like 11 years old, there was this one time where I didn't go to school because it was raining very heavily, right? So everyone else in the house left my house. Everyone else just went out in the morning. They had stuff to do, so they went and did those stuff, and I was the only one that stayed home that morning. And I remember I woke up a little bit later because I was like, hell yeah, I'm not going to school, it's raining. So I went back to bed, and then I woke up like a couple hours later. So it was like, I don't know, I said that it was like 9 a.m. So I woke up and I just hang around. And I remember I went to my computer and I played Lego Racers. I love that game. It was a game I played a lot in my childhood. Lego Racers was really fun. So I was playing that. And then at one point I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, you know, as you do. So I went there, and while I was in the bathroom, I heard like a really loud noise, like the room next to that bathroom, like right across the hallway. I heard a noise, and it was a breaking noise, and I was like, what is that? And I didn't know that I was home alone, actually. I thought that my sister was home. I thought that she was sleeping in like I did. She wasn't, she left. But I thought that was her. I thought that maybe she broke something, I don't know. So I didn't think too hard about it. And after a couple seconds, I started to hear a lot of noise. And I started to hear a couple footsteps, like a lot of footsteps. And then I start hearing men talking. And I'm just sitting here like, those are not voices that I recognize. And then I just put 2 and 2 together, and I'm just sitting there like, oh shit, I'm being home invaded. Grown ass men, and to this day I'm not sure how many there were, just broke into my house. Okay, what do? And again, I was 11 years old, so this must have been like 2008. Yeah, sure, cell phones were a thing in 2008, but also my family was very poor. And this is kind of the sad thing about it, is that I actually did have a phone at this point in time. It was brand new. I had it for like a month because it was my first phone, and my they just got it for me. It wasn't very modern or anything, but it was a phone. But because it was so new and it was such a new concept to my life, I never had a phone before. I wasn't used to having it with me, because also we couldn't like afford like any like plans for it or anything, so it's not like I could do anything with it. It's not like it had apps or something, so like I didn't have the phone with me at all, like ever. So what ends up happening is that I'm like, I wish I had that phone on me so I could call someone right now, or text someone, I suppose. I couldn't call someone because I would make noise. But yeah, I didn't have that phone with me. I didn't have anything with me. I was just sitting there, and I was just sitting there, trembling for I don't know how long, because I also didn't have a clock or a watch with me or anything. I just don't know how long that was. But let's say that it was like half an hour. It was like half an hour of me sitting in this like tiny ass room, very tiny, and waiting for this grown man to just leave or something. And more than anything, just hoping. Do you see the lights flashing? More than anything, just hoping that they wouldn't open the fucking door where I was in. And to this day, I don't know why they didn't open it, because they didn't. They didn't find me. But I get the feeling that they knew I was there. I get the feeling that they realized, because maybe they saw like the outline of like there is a light in this room. So maybe they saw the computer on as well with Lego racers in it. So maybe they thought, oh, someone is in the house. And maybe they didn't want to risk it further. So maybe we had this like mutual agreement of like, I'm not gonna open this door and you're not gonna open that door, and we're just gonna rob you and walk away. And I'm just sitting in the bathroom like, understandable, please don't kill me. So maybe that's what happened. Like, thinking back to it, that's probably what happened, because the robber probably doesn't want to murder shares from their hands. So they just robbed me. They just like broke into my house, and then they just took a bunch of shit. They took one of my dad's cameras, because my dad is a cameraman, and he had like a very like expensive like filmmaker camera. They stole that shit. They stole a bunch of stuff, and they also stole the cell phone that I just mentioned, which was my first cell phone. And I didn't have it with me because I wasn't used to carrying it with me, so they just stole it. And it was funny because after they left, I was like, oh shit, I gotta call someone. And then I went to get my phone and I didn't find it. And I was like, fuck. Of course it's not there. Of course it's not. But yeah, the house was just a complete mess. Just every drawer and everything was just completely just open. Everything was on the floor, and a bunch of shit was stolen. A bunch of shit was taken. And the thing is that it was also crazy because it was multiple people. I'm not sure how many people there were, but it was at least 2, because I could hear them talking to each other, right? I've full gone into this tangent, by the way. I'm gonna make like a timestamp so you can skip it if you want, but like after this happened, I left that bathroom. It was like half an hour later. I don't know how much time it was, but it felt like an eternity. They left, and it's funny because they opened another window and left through there instead of going through the one that they broke initially. So it was a little bit funny, but so they did that. And you want to know what I did? You want to know what my first like reaction, the first thing I did was like, POV, you're me, you're 11 years old. People just broke into your house and took your shit. What do? First things first, tried to search my cell phone. It's not there. Fuck. I have to use the home phone. Second, realizing that the home phone, we didn't have enough money to pay for the like plan that allows you to call cell phones, and also I couldn't remember the cell phone anyway. So that phone was useless to call any other cell phone, so I couldn't call my mom or my dad or anyone. So what is the only telephone number you know of someone that could maybe help you out when you're me and 11 years old? My grandma. I call my grandma and I'm like, yo, grandma, people broke into my house and took my shit. And she was like, what? And I'm like, sorry, I gotta go. So I just told my grandma that, and I was like, please call the police, and just hung up. And my grandma probably almost died, probably almost had a heart attack. But anyway, that's what I did. Third thing you do after you just called your grandma and maybe give her a heart attack, I went into the kitchen and I was like, I'm gonna take matters in my own hands, because I was 11 years old and very stupid. So I went into the kitchen and I grabbed the biggest knife I could find, like this, yeah, just a big knife. And then I was like, cool, I need another one. So I got a second knife, and I think I got a third knife, actually. I just grabbed a bunch of knives because I was very scared, and I was like, I'm gonna have to fight for my life. So I was like, I need some kind of weaponry or I'm gonna die. So I just grabbed a bunch of knives. The fourth thing you do, if you're me and 11 years old, you go out of that window into the outside world. Again, it's heavily raining. Also, the front of my house is actually like a dirt road. So I start going through this dirt road, and because it's heavily raining, it's actually mud. I'm bare feet and holding like 3 giant knives, and I'm 11 years old. And I'm just like paranoid, just looking everywhere like, where are they? Where are they? Because I was like, they I was like, they took my shit, and I was like trying to figure out in what direction they went or what they look like, so I would be able to like be able to tell someone who it was, because I never saw them. Realistically, I think it's been enough time that they probably already left, but like they wouldn't be anywhere in sight. But I do remember seeing like a carriage or something like going into the distance, and in my mind I was like, it's them, it's those people, it's them for sure. And what's funny is that this like dude came to me, and it was like a lookout dude. We have people keeping like lookout on the neighborhood sometimes. Clearly he wasn't good at his job considering what had just transpired. He like starts going my direction, and then he realizes what he's running into. He's this 11-year-old kid holding 3 giant knives. I'm not sure how I was holding 3 giant knives. I might have been carrying one of them in my mouth in the middle of this like heavy rain covered in mud. And this dude is like, what the fuck did I run into? And he was actually scared because he was approaching me, and he was like, because of course. And then I was like, no, it's those people. I'm 11 years old. I don't know how to talk. Those people. I'm also scared for my life. So I'm like, it's them. And I was pointing towards those people. And he didn't know what the fuck was going on. So he was like, is that your house? And I was like, yes. And let's go over there. And I'm like, okay, I guess we go back. So we went back house. So I went back to my house, which was like right. I didn't walk too far into it. Like I was just right in front of my house. I didn't go anywhere holding the knives. But we went there, and then I explained this man like what happened, and he was like, oh shit. He was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna stay here, and just I don't know, keep lookout in case anything happens. So he just chilled outside of my house, just looking out. And then eventually the police came, and my sister came, and everyone started coming out, and it's just like, okay, cool. Yeah, the police came over, and it's like, yeah, I couldn't tell them anything because I didn't see anything. And that was it. And yeah, we never rescued any of the items. We never knew what the fuck happened. It was gone. And that was that story. But I'm telling you something, and the reason why the story was even here to begin with. Sorry, that was like a 10-minute segue. That was story time with me. But the reason why I was thinking about that is because in this episode, Willow, she felt like a place that she considered to be safe and familiar was like taken from her, and she wasn't okay with that. Like it actually got to her emotionally. It wasn't just seeing some dude being killed or whatever. It was a place that I frequent to, that I'm familiar with, that I have good memories related to, suddenly turn into a place that is not safe. And I understand that feeling, right? I do, because like I didn't realize it at the time, but I think I definitely did get a feeling of like, man, I hate that bathroom. I hate that bathroom so much because like I do every time there's 2 bathrooms in my house, by the way. I never go to that one. I always go to the other one. But that one bathroom, I just remember being in this like very tiny environment, because that is the tiniest room in the house also. It's literally just like this. You have no place to move. And I just remember being stuck in that tiny room thinking, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And like that feeling is not good. It's not a good feeling to have at the moment or afterwards, right? And it's not just that bathroom, just that I don't think it was okay from that like entire event for a while afterwards, you know? And to this day, I feel like that still lingers a bit. Maybe not about my house, but just in general. I'm always like paranoid, because I do remember that feeling like very well. That feeling of like being outside and just looking around everywhere, just like where are they? Where are they coming from? Like I was just like freaking out. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, and I was just so scared. And I think that to this day, that feeling still lingers. Like, maybe not in my house, but definitely the moment I set foot outside, I'm just like, I'm gonna get killed. I'm gonna get, who is it? Like, that's not good. And given part of it is because I live in a not very good country and in a not very good area of said country, but also that didn't help at all. So I understand I understand where Willow was coming from a little bit. So that's why I really like that scene too. Even if it really didn't do anything, the only reason why that scene was there is because Buffy was like, I need someone to like give me the motivation to go back and fight instead of running away. But I was like, that's real. That feels really real. That feels really cool. I really like that scene. And I feel bad for Willow. I feel bad for everyone in this episode. Like, everyone was having dramatic, emotional moments, and it was like pretty great. That was my favorite part of the episode, actually. Because, like, sure, we got the prophecy, we got the switcheroo, the debate that she died, but she didn't. She got brought back. We got the final fight against the Master or whatever, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, I didn't really care about him that much. I'm sorry if you were expecting me to care that much about him. Because, like, okay, so, while watching Season 1 of Buffy, and this is because people told me, like, Season 1 is not that great. Season 2 is when it starts to get really good. And Season 1, like, kind of really doesn't matter in the long run. So because people told me that, I was thinking, like, maybe the Master doesn't matter in the long run. Because I honestly can't really imagine a show having a character like him and trying to take him seriously for too long. Like, I don't see that happening. I could see him being a seasonal enemy, you know, like a Doctor Who villain, you know, just like we deal with him at the end of the season and then we just move on, and maybe he'll come back like 4 seasons from now. But like, yeah, I didn't see him being the permanent main antagonist. Maybe we won't have a main antagonist. So I wasn't super surprised at the fact that he was defeated that so quickly. I kind of wish he didn't, because I really like him. I really like him as a character. This episode was a little bit funny in the sense that, like, everyone was having really dramatic, serious scenes, like Buffy and Xander and Willow and Giles, and I'm just sitting here like, every time the Master comes on screen, the way he's acting, which is like, oh yes, I'm just sitting here like, I love him. I love him so much. Like, the main antagonist is the comic relief. That's great. I love that. I love that so much. But yeah, anyway, he got defeated. He got impaled. He was like thrown into the library and got impaled there. It was very unfortunate that it landed like right where it needed to land. I don't know. I suppose something we can talk about is, did Buffy turn into a vampire now? I'm gonna say no, but I'm just gonna mention it because in case it might turn out to be that. Because the Master bit her, and then she like got weakened, lost her energy, and then just passed out on the water and drowned. Then they brought her back, and then they were like, oh, you gotta rest. And she's like, no, I feel like, I don't know what she said, but she was like, I'm very energetic. Like, let's do this. I feel different. She just straight up said, I feel different. Which you can interpret that as like, maybe she actually turned into the prophesized legendary vampire slayer. That would be fucking dope. I would absolutely love that. Or maybe it's a thing of where now she's like, now I feel no fear. Because now the prophecy is null, is void. It doesn't matter anymore. Now I'm good. Now I can just go fight and kill him. Because the prophecy said I'm gonna die. But I already died. And I'm still alive. So what the fuck do I care anymore? Like, why do I have to worry? Let's fucking go. So maybe that's what it was supposed to be. Her being like, I feel different. Maybe it wasn't so much like something physical changing in her as much as it was something like a mentality switch of like, I was scared and I came here because I was worried, but now I'm not worried anymore. I'm not scared anymore. Fuck that guy. I'm gonna kill him. And then she went and did that. Great. Perfect. I'm glad I got to see the techno pagan again. I forgot her name, but she's cool as fuck. I was hoping we would see her again, and I'm glad that she was like a real character this episode. You know, she felt like part of the gang, in the same way that Cordelia felt like part of the gang. Dude, Cordelia, I'm telling you, Cordelia's the best character in the show. Y'all thought that I was fucking full of shit, but like, Cordelia's actually pretty good. Like, I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Usually, if you give me a character that is like not great, in the sense that maybe they're a little bit dismissive, maybe they're a little bit of a dick, but then this character learns that that is not the right way, and they make an actual conscious effort to change and help out, that character will often turn into a character that I like a lot, actually. It may turn into one of my favorite characters. And I see Cordelia maybe having a character journey like that, actually. And that promise excites me. It just that hint of what could be with Cordelia. is something that I look forward to. And given it's not something that is immediately there, but in this episode she shows up and saves Willow and the Technopan to fucking run the car into the school, which is sick. I want to hear what the fuck Snyder has to say about this shit. And then she like fends off the monsters alongside everyone else, and like we didn't talk about it, but like the fact that you're living through all these events means that you probably would change your mentality a little bit about them, you know? Because before it was just like, oh, the invisible girl. Now it's like, actually, no, we're getting assaulted by literal fucking demons and shit. And Cordelia's like, all right, I'm changing my mind. Maybe y'all are onto something. Maybe, I mean, y'all are doing some weird, fucked up shit. But like, thank you so much for saving my life. Like, oh my fucking God. Buffy, you're a little bit weird, but you know what? You're killing demons, so you keep doing that shit. Thank you so much for that. So yeah, anyway, I hope that Cordelia changes a little bit after seeing the things that she's seen, because I just want Cordelia to be better, and because I like her a lot. Yo, what is the deal with the anointed kid, whatever the fuck? Like, I remember someone told me in a comment, and I don't remember exactly what they said, but it was something like, yeah, don't get your hopes up or something. So I'm thinking like maybe we won't see him again. That would be really funny, actually. That would be really funny. Like, they made this whole deal about the Anointed, and it's just like, oh my God, he's so important. Oh God, this kid. Oh Lord, oh Jesus. And then, like, he literally just walks in, and he's like, I'm gonna hold your hand. And it's like, yeah, that's him. And then he, like, walks away, and we never see him again. I hope that that's the case. Like, given the way they set it up, it could be a thing where, like, he comes back later in, like, maybe next season, maybe in a couple seasons, like the kid will come back and it's like, oh, it's the Anointed. Oh God, it's like you wouldn't expect that coming, did you? I would love it if he never came back. I would love it if like literally the show just made like a huge deal of this fucking kid, and the only reason the kid was there was to just have the master talk to someone. That would be really fucking funny. He takes him to him and then he's like, all right, goodbye. And just never to be seen again. I would love it if that was the case, actually. I hope. But yeah, anyway, that was the end of the season. That was the end of the Master arc. Maybe, probably. I'm not sure. But like, I can see Buffy like being... The show is called Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I can imagine Vampire Slayer actually not being the main thing about the show. Right? I can imagine that being the case. Because if the Master is like the master of all vampires or some shit and he just died, then... shit. I mean, he could come back. Let's say that. Let's say the Master could come back in like a different form. He like reincarnates or some shit. Or like some demons resurrect him or something. Because like, okay, we do have like a power escalation thing, right? We have like a bigger fish to fry always. Because like the Master is like, oh man, he's the master of all vampires and shit. But like that wasn't the main problem here. The main problem was the fact that if the Master comes out, then the mouth of hell opens. If the mouth of hell opens, that means that hell is above the Master. And what's in hell? I'm guessing a bunch of demons and shit, right? So whatever is in hell, a bunch of demons and shit, that's probably the thing we gotta worry about. So maybe the show will be about demons, not so much vampires. But vampires are also demons. So whatever, sure, we'll roll with that. But yeah, that's just closes this arc, that closes this season. And I don't know if there's so much else I want to say. I mean, I already talked about Willow and Xander. I already talked about Buffy a little bit. I don't know, I could probably say more, but I don't remember what I said. And I don't want to risk me repeating myself. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop the video now. I've been talking for like 48 minutes, I think. Like, yeah, I shouldn't make this longer. Yeah, anyway, so that was it for this season of Buffy, for this final episode of Buffy. And that was fun. I'm like starving. I'm just gonna go get some food or something. Alright, thank you so much for tuning in to this Buffy reaction, everybody. See you next week. Or, if you don't want to wait until next week, you can already watch the next 2 episode reactions over at the Patreon. If you want to see the start to season 2, you can watch early access episodes as well as full-length reactions. If you want to check out some of the other stuff I do, including building that Gunpla that I showed earlier, maybe, you can check out my other channel, check out my social media, all sorts of cool stuff that I do. I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.